The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. As always, the sound's brought to you by Sincere the Rap Snob. We are the most controversial, the most talked about, the most debated about. In fact, we are
The Rap Roundtable.
We got to start off with some bad news. The homie Langston Leguizamo will no longer be part of the podcast due to creative differences.
Sad word.
Yeah. We tried to make it work. As you guys have been following the pod, he took a couple of episodes off to get himself together. And, he came back and it just didn't work out for him. He's still a homie.
You
already know.
Ever the broski.
We hope for the best. We hope that, he powers through whatever he's going through. And, maybe we'll still be here when he gets on the other side. But for right now, there's no more J-Mo, no Shame-O. No more hot takes. No more introspection from him.
Yeah.
In fact, it's better for the pod that we have everyone here who's fully 100% invested so that we can give you the best show possible since you dedicate the time to listen to us each and every time that we drop. Also, since the Rap Snob is not here, sadly, he's on vacation. He didn't leave the show. Don't get worried. Sin didn't leave.
California dreaming.
He's California dreaming. He's living his West Coast life. I feel like Sin always wanted to be a West Coast dude low-key anyway.
Albums.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get to you, Sin. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, we have a special guest. We got a homie who's also part of the Library Genesis that created this show. The homie makes us in the star lineup today. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's good, y'all? Dang, how y'all feeling, man? It's good to be on this show. Long time listening, long time,
You know the vibes.
already know
We've
the
known
vibes.
each other for a few years. I'm
Absolutely.
not sure exactly how long.
It's been a minute.
Long few years.
It's a while, it's a while. But it's good to be on the show. I'm happy I got the invite,
Absolutely.
On
Let's
deck.
see how this debut goes.
Nah, you
Let's
gonna
work.
cook, bro. We confident in you, And of course, you already know Diddy the Balance. What's good, family?
Just here maintaining balance, man.
You already know the vibe, son.
We are tonight's
That we are.
entertainment.
Even with Sin not being here and we don't have our full lineup, we still got the best team in the league regardless. And you know what?
Cooking.
And if Mace cook, you might have to get used to Mace. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. If he cooking and y'all don't like what he's saying, but he cook, y'all gonna have to eat it. You know what I mean? It is
Hold
what
it.
it is.
On the bench waving that towel. If
You already know the
anything.
vibe. On this episode, we're gonna be interviewing Nucci, Reyo. Some of the pure hip hop fans are familiar with him from his work in the past 2 decades. We're gonna be talking about some Griselda. We're gonna talk about Tyler Creator's album that dropped a couple weeks ago. We're gonna talk about T-Pain's rant about do something else. I feel like the people deserve to hear what we think about doing something else.
Powerful.
Can the bars matter wave continue? Because it seems like bars are really carrying the culture right now. And we're gonna talk a few other things, but those are the key components of this episode. So, Dini, can you let our guests know that he is safe to call in and tap in with the Roundtable? In the meantime, Mace, how do you feel about being in this position, bro? We've potted on the gray area, but what's it like to be now at the table with the lights on you and everything like that?
It's an interesting feeling, Joe. I'm not even gonna lie. Even just walking up to the studio, you felt like you was about to have your first game of the season,
Energy.
But we got a rapport with each other. So as far as the
That's
show,
a
I don't
fact.
feel no type of way.
Yes, sir.
It's just like you say, the bright lights. You get used to it. Y'all threw me right in the middle.
Mhm.
So
Back in the lunchroom
yeah,
vibes.
man. Why not?
Let's
so
cook,
I'm feeling
let's
good
cook.
about being here.
And I guess it's calling in as we speak. Oh, you're live with the Rap Roundtable. What's good, family?
What's good?
I'm glad
With
you
the
can make it
deal,
on.
man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nucci,
Lots
what's
of
going on, man?
complications. Man, listen, the world is opening back up.
That's a fact.
My phone is going crazy. I can't be mad at it. I'm glad I survived the first leg of the pandemic. So
That's what's up.
Listen, I've been calling out the Hunger Games for a minute. It just seems like every time we got it figured out, they add a new level to this game. So the fact that we all still here is a blessing.
Beautiful.
that's a fact right there.
Absolutely. But family, let's get right into it, B. We're watching you on the socials. We see that you're moving. What is the goal for the rest of 2021? We in the third quarter right now. So what's it looking like on your end?
Right now, I'm about to drop. I got 2 projects. I got one called Friend of Sinners, which is me and Heatmakerz. They produced the whole project. It's a collaboration between me and Arsonist. And I got Jim Jones on the project. He on the first single. We about to drop that video next week. I'm dropping that, and then I'm following it up with a self-titled album, The King's Kid. You know what I mean? And that's coming right after that. So, you know, in these days, you got to keep it coming. So we got like 3 videos for both projects.
Okay.
And we just going to keep it going because nowadays you drop and in 2 weeks it's old. They're like, when you dropping again? And you're like, yo,
That's a fact.
I just dropped. Like, what you mean when I'm dropping again? Like, as soon as they hear it, they ready for the next thing. So, you know, we just want to keep coming.
Absolutely. This microwave culture makes like everything new feel old instantly. So I understand that pressure to make sure that you keep delivering because especially these young kids now, they'll call everything you do old almost instantly.
A week.
Yes, sir.
So I got a lot of questions, man. Because as a person that used to listen to you back in the golden era, man, the K Slade days, man. I want to ask you, as far as like from the days of like mixtapes out the trunk, right?
Yes.
What do you think is like the biggest transition, biggest difference you see from the era where people used to have them out the trunk to everything being like streamed and free nowadays? Like, how do you feel about that?
The difference is, for me, now it's more cluttered, the game, right? Because now it's free to get the music, but the issue is it's too cheap to do the music.
Right.
So now you got everybody who ain't even serious about the art nor the culture. They're not even serious about making no money. They just want the clout and popularity that comes along with calling yourself a rapper, right? So now everybody doing it, and it's super cluttered. Whereas a lot of stuff cats put out wouldn't even seem so repetitive if it wasn't so much of it. And it shouldn't be so much of it, but since everybody could go to Guitar Center with $500 and start recording, it's cluttered. Back then, even though we was doing it out the trunk, it wasn't too many cheap studios.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had to know somebody.
The artwork wasn't cheap. Pressing up CDs wasn't cheap. That might have cost you $800 to $1,200. So back then, that was a gatekeeper in itself. You know what I mean? In and of itself, that was a gatekeeper. Now, it's no gatekeeping. Anything goes. So anybody looks at the TV or hears the radio and says, I can do that too, and they get right to it.
You know, it's funny that you say that because what I'm hearing without you necessarily saying it is that a lot of the soul has been lost. Everything is now so industrialized. It's so easy, copy and paste, that putting in that legwork to go get the 1,200, to get the CDs pressed, put it out, and do that person to person, trying to deliver your CD to that person vibe. If you was trash, you weren't putting that money out there. Now anyone can do anything. So you saying that really kind of resonates with us because we come from that time where you had to put in this amount of love and effort into music in order to put it out there. So I appreciate you saying that. But
yeah, and the passion is gone. And I want to add one thing to that. That's the other thing is that back then you had to be nice.
Yeah.
No, talk about it.
Yeah.
You kidding me? When you went through to do a K-Slade freestyle, he used to do a bunch of freestyles the same day. So when you get there, like I got to my first time doing one, I mean everybody, the real AZ was in there, first of all.
Shout out to AZ.
Then you got Cormega's in there, McGruff was in there.
Talk about it.
Cam, Jimmy, and Jones wasn't he? I don't even know if he was rapping back then. They was all there. Everybody spitting, and it was right in the living room. And you had one take. You had to get it on and get out of it. So, like, you had to be a real talent back then.
Facts.
Nowadays, you don't need any real talent. You know what I mean? If you couldn't survive in that was a jungle. That was different. That was wolves back then.
Yeah, it was, man.
You had to come through and get it in. So your freestyle had to be mean. You know what I mean? So it was different. But
that's a fact.
So let me ask you this.
Anybody could do it.
Like, what would be your pushback against a younger artist who will say that, you know what, people from our time are just haters and they don't appreciate the music we putting out now? Because I feel like you're speaking a lot of facts, but kids now feel like our criticisms are hate.
Well, I get it because it's two different kinds of hate. First of all, there's the true hate, like I really hate what's going on. And then there's this hate where it's like, it's not a bad thing, but because it's a different thing, you mad at it, right? And that's player hating for real. That's the hating that Big was talking about when he created the word hating, right? He wasn't talking about, I don't like that. Nowadays, if I don't like it, it's not my preference, so I don't feel it, I'm a hater. No, I'm not. I just don't like it. You know, so what they doing, We just simply don't like it.
And that's what it is. And people don't understand that every criticism is not hate. Sometimes it's just garbage, fam. Like, we're looking out for you.
Not for me.
That's a fact.
All right, so
That's a fact.
you've got a lot of time in this industry. But I guess my question for you would be more than anything else. What caused the content shift from what the artist you were earlier in the 2000s to now with the genre that you're attempting to get into right now? Like, what made you decide that this is the route I want to take?
Man, that's an excellent question. My mother is a popular playwright.
Okay.
Right? So she was doing a play called Judgment Day. It was episodic. You would see different episodes, and at the end of that episode, this person would either go to heaven or they would go to hell.
Okay.
So she ironically has me play the role of a music executive who went to hell at the end of his episode. Now, when I watched the play back, I didn't even get the message when I was being part of it, because to me it was just more entertainment, right? But when I watched it back and I listened into the whole plot of the whole thing together, I said, if what's being said here is true, if the fact that one day we all gonna stand before God and be judged, and if we don't have faith, the faith that we need, if we're not standing there with a soul that has been saved by Jesus, we go to hell. Is this life worth that risk? Right? So for me, it was like, that's all I needed to hear. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, everything gotta change. Everything must go. And at first I was nervous, but I'm like, if you nice, you nice. No matter what your subject matter is.
Talk about it.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So for me, after that, I said, well, I can no longer promote the lifestyle that I was living or promoting because it's leading people down the wrong path. The path that I no longer believe we need to be on. So for me, my music was always real, right? And so at the end of the day, it wouldn't have been real for me to keep on going in that direction.
And that's a sacrifice you have to make within yourself, because you know how much the guts and the glory is in hip hop when it comes to rapping about all the negativity. You know what I'm saying?
The machismo, you know what I mean?
A lot of money to be made there. So to take yourself off that market, it's like, that's a brave thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, and I appreciate
that, and I'm glad you said that, because that was the biggest thing, giving up. You know, I was writing for Puff Daddy. I was doing a lot of stuff that I had to stop doing, and I mean, that stuff was lucrative.
I'm sure.
And then you
left a lot on the table to stop doing that.
Thank you. I'm glad you realized that, because a lot of people don't realize it. Some people so foolish, they'll say things like, oh, you switched to this lane because you hadn't blown up in that lane.
Right. Well,
do you know what it's like when a person is one hit away? I had the whole formula down pat, the whole blueprint. I did everything you do to be next up in this city. You see what I'm saying? It's no possible way. It wasn't nobody else really coming up with the kind of records that stay consistent as me at the time. I had just moved into the phase of catching the R&B remixes. I'm on Carl Thomas joint, you know what I mean? Marcus Houston, different cast records. The people at Def Jam threw me on Music Soul Child remix.
It's like 0506, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and as time passed, I'm like, I can't do that stuff no more. So yeah, I walked away from some serious checks after writing for Puff for so long, different remixes and etc. I met with him. Conrad walked me in his office like, all right, he ready to sign you. So I went in there, I kicked it with him. This is all stuff I could have visited. Havoc from me and bring me on with Infamous Bob and get me a deal. He said, let me get you your deal. I know the labels is calling. Let me do the deal for you. This is real. He sat with me and my mother at the W Hotel and said, yo, I got to sign. You got to be a part of my team. Like, all this was on the table around that time. So, yeah, I walked away from a lot. So I think people can hear and feel the passion in the music, and the people who understood what I walked away from know this message must be serious.
Walking away from the Diddy formula is a big deal. You was basically going to be a hitman. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, people thought I was almost like an honorary hitman. People thought I was like one of them. They couldn't figure it out. They was like, wait, like, is he on Bad Boy? Is he one of the hitmen? Like, what's what? Because they always seeing me at Daddy's house. I'm getting in the events. He's showing love. If it's a Bad Boy event, I can't get in, and he walk up. He like, yo, why they ain't let Nucci in? He bringing me in. Cat's looking like, what's going on here? They knew something was about to pop. But
I know I know how it is for when you write for you can't disclose the full details, but I mean it's Puff. You know what I'm saying? Like we respect Puff as far as like making good music, but we know he don't write it. You know what I'm saying? So is there anything you can disclose to the Rap Roundtable, perhaps?
I mean, I could tell you one, which is his verse for the Welcome to Atlanta remix.
He did kind of get off on that verse too.
I know that verse ball for ball, man.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you.
And he said it too. He was like, listen, I want to rap. I want to rap like you were rapping. He like, write it for yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
So you have to write it from a perspective of a dude with $1 quadrillion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was always the challenge, and he used to let me know that, though. He used to say, when I first started coming in, he was like, look, check it out. You know, you got the world in your hands. That's the perspective you got to come from. Like, I'm going to tell you what's funny, too. This is a story you enjoy. You know how I ended up writing for this guy? His writer didn't show up one night. So, what type of idiot was that? So, respectfully, so Don Pooh calls me, and Don Pooh says, I got a dumb question for you. It's like 2 a.m. He said, you want to write for Diddy? I said, yeah, that is a stupid question.
Of course I do.
He said, well, listen, his writer ain't show up. Come on down. Now, I lived in Jersey still at the time. I lived in Edison. I had a townhouse at Edison Manor. I'm drunk already in my townhouse, right? So I'm like, I can't drive all the way to New York from Edison drunk.
Sheesh.
So I had to catch a cab. I caught an $80 cab to New York.
The hustle.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
I get to the now. I'm not going too far with this information. I'm gonna stop after this sentence.
Copy.
But I get to the studio. The No More Drama remix with Mary J. Blige is playing.
Wow.
That beat is playing. I come the next time, Lights, Cameras, Action beat is playing.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
All right, so, I mean, we was having a good time back then.
Okay, so your gallery's kind of deep there, champ. Okay, talk your shit.
Now listen, everything I wrote didn't get picked up, but boy, was I grinding. I was like, listen, every time you need something, call me. Right. I mean, he knew he could rely on me. Like, once again, this guy called my mother's house one time looking for me like, yo, this cat's new. I'm coming through and I'm a grinder. And no matter what, I'm staying at the studio till whenever. I'm in a session right now. I'm here till 4 a.m. At the same time I'm talking to you, we holding auditions for a movie we doing. We recording for a soundtrack. I'm executive producing for the And One story. You know what I mean? And I'm doing this interview right now. I always been a grinder. So when people see me back around, they not happy about it.
I mean, it's time for you to lay that claim, bro. You know what I mean? We talk about it here on the Roundtable a lot about bars and the fact that you are a spitter. There's a lot of room in the industry right now for people who can rap. Once again, we have to wait quite a while. So give me your perspective on what you see in the industry right now, seeing what Griselda and Westside Gunn has accomplished over the last couple of years, and then seeing a lot of big name acts kind of take their aesthetic and run with them. We're seeing more bar-heavy albums. What does that make you feel to notice that take place right now?
I respect it. I love that it's back around because that's what I do. So my thing is like, oh, this is what we doing now? Well, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I do, so I love it. And I used to always tell cats, bro, there's people 30, 40 years old. They're not going to want to listen to this young stuff only. Right. You know what I mean? They want mature content, right? And so at the end of the day, that's my thing, you know, is that, and I respect their grind. Look how many projects they drop. Facts. Like I just said, this is how we act. Like, look, think about that. Right in this moment, I got in the other room, it's a song playing because I'm executive producing that soundtrack. It's people here auditioning for the movie, right? I'm on the phone with y'all. When I get off the phone with y'all, I'm going to lay another song down. And this is the grind, right, that they move on. And that's why they was able to do it, because look how many projects they drop, bro. Yeah. They treating it like the street. They flooding the street the same way you would have did if you was a drug dealer, if you was going to make it.
Listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate your perspective, because a lot of people don't understand that there's a market for bars. Like, we spoke about it when we first started doing this pod. There was a time when being good at rap was frowned upon. Like, you were a lame if you had bars. So to see, like, guys bring the ability to rap back to the forefront and still have the ability to make songs, that's exciting for us as fans. We come from that time. I'll say this for you, not even to sound like a fanboy or nothing, but I appreciate the fact that you're taking the route you're taking, because a lot of times when rap goes into that space, the rapping isn't the greatest. Hearing you rap in that space, you're gonna open doors for so many people who want to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you said that in the nicest way. But yeah, let's just keep it funky. How a lot of people feel like that lane or whatever's called Christian rap is whack. It be whack. Because cats be thinking I'm rapping about God, so it's automatically acceptable or dope. No, it could be trash. You could not have that talent. That's not what God wants you doing for him. You need to find what he has as your purpose, because now you stain the whole culture. Yeah, so when I came into it, cats like, huh, what you doing? That stuff is corny. That stuff is trash. I'm like, it ain't gonna be when I do it. But everybody always says that. Like, finally, it's done in a refreshing way where it's skillful and it's up to date and it's relevant. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that.
I mean, because who's gonna want to try you? Even if you in that space, they don't dust off the old New York bar work. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want that problem.
But that's
they better not.
That's the ill part about it.
They better not tempt me. And when I hear Griselda and different projects, I'll be like, ooh, man, listen, they lucky.
Like that's the ill part about it. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. When I found out that it was a Christian rap album, man, I kind of shrugged, like, really? Because I don't even like edited music, man. I like my curses, man. You know, so when I listened to it, and I was like, wow, this is actually spin. That's what I told Lane. I was like, Lane, like, he's spin.
Yeah.
Like, I really did not think I was gonna get what I got, man. I doubted you, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not mad at that. Like, hey, listen, that's part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Is for people to be like, okay, and I'm just glad I could wake people up in that way. Even with Arsonist, when I first asked him for a beat and he knew what I was doing now, he was like, okay. I got the track.
That's the overflow, right?
He said, yo, you just made me a believer. I didn't know it was going to sound like this. I said, yeah, man, if you dope, you dope.
How inspired are you to prove people wrong that Christian rap could sound the way you make it sound?
Oh, I'm very inspired to do that. I'm ambitious toward that because I want people to know it, because they don't. And then as people try to convince them, they don't believe it. So I want people to feel that way, like, yo, finally. You know what I mean? We can listen to it. So, I mean, that's just part of my movement.
I appreciate that, man.
Quick question. You not to say you sounded apprehensive, but you didn't like the title of Christian rap. Right? Am I wrong by saying that, or?
No, you're not wrong, but it's like, all right, like, what are you, a Christian rapper or a rapper who's Christian, right? At the end of the day, you know, long as what you're doing, how I see it, the music is in step with the gospel, you don't need the genre titles and stuff, because that was created by people who needed a place to put it in the store. That wasn't created by people who was trying to keep it pure,
right? That's true.
Or cared about any of our genres, right? When people was making jazz music, you think they called it jazz?
No.
You know what I mean? So who came along and said that's jazz? Who came along and said that's funk? The people who wanted to sell it. So I don't care about the titles. My thing is I'm staying true to the message.
Right, that's what about it. You know what? I appreciate that, because I don't really like titles. To me, you're a rapper, and that's it. Like, whatever you want to call it, that's the people's business.
Put you in a box.
I don't want to be limited.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're a rapper. Talk about whatever you choose to talk about. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what's happening in rap so much now. We talk about on this pod about like subgenres. That rap has become divvied up so much that you can't just be a rapper. You have to have a lane when you rap. Why can't I just have bars and make good music? Like, why do I have to have the Christian lane or the trap lane or the coke rap lane? Like, just be a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I guess to have a way to describe it.
That's what I used to say about gangster rap. Like, when they first coined gangster rap,
exactly.
I'm like, who are you to say that? You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
All right, so let's bring it full circle here. You mentioned linking up with the Heatmakerz. Like, how did that relationship come about? Is it something that's been in the mix from way back when, or you just reached out and they decided to work with you? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, we always, have respect for what each other do, and just never got the chance to link up until now. But actually, my jeweler partnered with them in doing a studio. And so when I went through one time, he was there, and we just kicked it. We hit it off. And then from there, it's just like, yo, let's work. You know what I mean? We did the one record for the last EP in due season. And then This Far by Faith. And then people loved the record we did together so much it streamed like 80% more than all of the other songs on that project. So, hey, we follow the clicks. We're going to get the people what they want. This what y'all streamed a bunch of times, well, you're going to get more of it.
You know what? I appreciate you saying that because some people don't understand it. In this click business, you kind of, the way the algorithm works, you kind of have to give the people what they want. Sometimes, even if it's not what you necessarily want to give them, you kind of have to give the people what they want, or you're gonna fall short. So I appreciate you
Still a business.
passing that off because that's free game for our listeners. Like, stop. Sometimes you want to do what you want to do. You want to stay true to your art, but sometimes if this is getting clicks, you got to give them that, and then you can work your way around to delivering what you want to give them on the back end. You had another thing going on here that we noticed about the King's Kid. Like, what, can you explain that to the people so we can get a bigger picture of what that's about?
Yeah, it's very simple. It's just the child of God, period. You know what I mean? It's just, it's very basic in that manner. It's just, I'm a child of God. I wanted people to understand that, just from a title standpoint and just from a name standpoint, you know what I mean? So they could just, it's a rebranding too.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's everything, every subject I touch on my project, it's like, how is this seen by a child of God? That's it. I might talk about whatever aspect of the streets, but my perspective is through that lens now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I
That's
just wanted
ill.
people to know that. Yeah.
As I was wondering, I said most people would brand themselves on Instagram and put like your name is Nucci Reyo, like you would have that, but like you clearly went with that Instagram name, and I was always wondering, like, so I'm not gonna DM him and ask him now. I'm gonna wait till he comes on the pod because I was curious about that. That's a great explanation because that perspective lets us know, like, it's almost like a trailer to your project. Now we understand when we lock in with this next project, this is the lens that we're gonna be coming through, and I'm excited about that. Before we let you go, we're gonna give you this platform now to, let people know your socials and let them know where they can find you and what you have coming up in the immediate and in the future.
Yes, sir. Everywhere. ILoveTheKingsKid.com, at ILoveTheKingsKid on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and all that stuff. On Facebook, you can find me at Nucci Reyo. And listen, I got 2 projects coming, 6 videos before the summer is out. So, just check for me straight up.
That's the fact.
All right. Well, Nucci, we appreciate you coming on. Like, you were a hell of an interview, great energy. We would love to have you in the studio. So next time you in town, bro, we got to make this happen. We would love to have you here, man.
I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I want to do. I want to definitely come sit down with you guys and extend this conversation. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Be safe out here,
brother.
And we're excited for the work that's coming out.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
No
Much
doubt.
success to you, brother.
Stay safe out there. Keep working.
Thank you.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Hell of an interview with Nucci Reyo. Let's get the applause out here for that man. That's a fact. Ain't nothing like having a rapper that's willing to talk. Like, he's not one word answering you. Like, he's giving you content. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I was already thinking about, like, all right, he gave me so much, like, when we do like the breakdown of the post production, like, I'm gonna put this on the gram. I'm gonna put this on the gram. You know what I mean? I was already thinking about that. Like, I got excited. You know what I'm saying?
But one of the things he said that was ill was like when he said, now he spits it from the view of a child of God. So his now, like before, like let's say he was like the hustler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he's spitting it from the dude that's just watching the hustler kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Is he watching it from the perspective of a sidewalk nigga?
I would say now he's a sidewalk nigga. Staying out the streets.
Let's talk about it.
All
You
right.
dig?
All right, Mace, you've been quiet here. You let us
quiet,
conduct the
man.
interview.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You
Well,
know,
we brought up Griselda
Right.
in the interview. We talked about their grind,
Right.
how they flooded the streets, etc. But now we starting to see photos come out. We saw Conway with Diddy. We saw Benny with Hove. They was at some white party around 4th of July.
Major.
In the mix.
Look like they
Looking
had
real-
loafers on.
They hate the boat shoes. Talk about it. The haters would say, look real Illuminati-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Comfortable.
So I guess my concern would be, or my question, not my concern, is Griselda going commercial? Mace, it's time, bro. Let's work.
Talk to him.
Now, I'm glad you corrected yourself when you said concern because I don't necessarily think that going commercial is a problem. I mean, you guys spent 15, 20 minutes talking about how it was written was better than Nomadic last episode, right? There's nothing wrong with aiming for the stars, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or, you know, it's nothing wrong with trying to, you know, I think when we think about our favorite rappers, Biggie's best album was his commercial album.
Yeah.
Jay's best albums were his commercial albums. And I don't think that Griselda in particular, Westside and Benny have ever, you know, strayed away from their ambitions to go towards the commercial route. You know, Benny, you know, the more commercial he gets, the better his albums get. If you want
Can
me
you
to
talk about it?
I mean, this is what I'm saying. In Westside, I believe that the Shady deal in general was a commercial move. I think they've all shown that they're not necessarily the biggest fans of Eminem.
Right.
You know, he wasn't necessarily an influence for the type of music that they make, but they knew that was the best look at the time.
I'm sure they respect them.
Of course.
Here you go, got the cape on already.
I'm saying. A lot of people respect Shady, man.
Of course.
Back to you, Mace. You got this, my brother.
But I'm just saying, you know, I think that they've never kind of made it seem like they weren't trying to go commercial, you know what I mean? And I don't think that we should, as rap fans, think that commercial means bad. You know, just because more people like what you like, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
That's
you
a
know
fact,
what I mean?
Mace.
They trying to feed their families, man. Let them men go platinum, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, now.
I dig it.
Diddy, talk to me, bro.
Like, first of all, I think there's a difference. I think there's mainstream and I think there's commercial.
Oh, break it down for me. Break it down for me.
I think you can still make the kind of music you want to make. It doesn't, but commercial, I think of dumbing it down. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, to the point it's overly palatable. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, I can still, take for instance, KD from Conway.
Right.
Scatterbrain. Anya. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like where they're more like on turn up beats, but they're still spitting and
La
bars.
Machina had way more 808s than we thought it would have.
You dig? And the album is still fire.
Yeah.
Because we're still getting the rapping, kind of like when we were just talking with Nucci. Like, even though I love my curses, you know, I still listen to them and I was like, this is still fire because the bar work was there. I think as long as the bar work is there, man, like a lot of things can be sustained, bro.
All right, so I guess y'all forcing me to play devil's advocate
Come
as
on.
always. This is my concern. It's not a personal concern because y'all know how I feel about Benny and watching Benny take the route he's taken to get the level that he's as far as the popular
I think
Griselda
you see him
rapper.
as the up and coming Hove. I think you really
reminds-
believe in this kid.
I don't
bro.
know if he'll ever be like what Hove became. But like, think about Hove before, when Hove was still in the streets, but popular.
It's a similar trajectory, I
Like
guess, right?
98 to like 01, pre-retirement Hove. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? I think Benny reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do-rag ho.
But yeah, do-rag
there we
Hove.
go,
There you
yeah.
go. But seeing how his beat selection has changed, how he's trying to make more palatable for everyone projects, that excites me. But I guess my concern is the more Griselda gets bigger, their core fan base, we've seen this trope in hip hop over and over again. When you get to a certain level, the people that was there with you before you blew up start to feel away because you stopped doing the things that made them fall in love with you. And it's like, I don't want Griselda to have like the negative pub because it's like their core fan base who loves that lo-fi shit. It's like, oh, they're too commercial now. You know what I mean? Like a part of me feels like, I'm gonna slander Sin a little bit. A part of me feels like Sin, if Conway got with Diddy and made some real glossy shit, Sin would panic. Cause that's not the Griselda he fell in love with.
But if it was Biggie-esque, if you get what I'm saying?
Well, I'm saying it depends on what it is.
But I think Biggie tightrope that line of both though. Where I feel
That's
like and I feel like Conway could do that too. He could play the Biggie role. You know what I'm saying? The I still get all the joints. I'm not the prettiest dude, but I still get all the joints. I feel like his rapping ability, his machismo, he can do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Think about the reaction the plugs I met too. There was a segment of people who felt the way about the beat selection. They felt like that was not a Griselda project. You know what I'm saying? Like they felt like Benny strayed away from the formula. When I listen to it, I can admit, if we go from Burden of Proof to the plugs I met too, he has definitely strayed away from the Derringer formula. Is that a bad thing? If you ask me, no.
I don't think so.
Am I a Griselda day one? No. So am I the right person to answer that question? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about the Griselda day ones.
I feel you.
Should we be concerned about them pushing back against the newfound popularity of Griselda?
No, because I feel like even when you get like the albums, you still get the tapes.
Okay.
You know, so I always feel like even if we had an artist that was a street artist that came up, like who was the street artist that came up? Give me some of the
Like 50.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? But
Classic
50
street
still gave us the street tapes though.
Mm-hmm.
I still got the gloss and I still got the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can maintain both, bro. Especially since people put out music damn near every other day now. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about that, Mace? Like the day one Griselda fans looking at the new success of Griselda as a negative for where they came from and where they're trying to go.
You know, I find that interesting because I believe circa 2018, 2019, a lot of the underground Griselda fans were just begging anyone to listen to them and basically letting everyone they know you need to listen to these people. So the more listeners they get, it seems like they get more upset about it. That's a little weird to me, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't necessarily you know,
it's a weird setup whereas like hip hop fans want their favorite rapper to be successful, and the minute they get successful, they get mad and say they're too popular. Like what are we doing here, bro? Like why? Like I don't understand.
I'll give you an example. Like I'm a big fan of The Weeknd.
Right.
You know, but I'm like House of Balloons Weeknd. You know what I'm saying? Like the Weeknd that he is today is not the Weeknd I started listening to.
Right.
But you gotta give an artist room to grow, bro. Like you can't trap them in a room and hope that they never grow into anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Fair play.
People just want to be mad at anything. Like even when you mentioned about, you know, Biggie getting the gloss over him, people hated that at the time. You know what I mean?
Sweated down and all that.
Exactly.
But that gave us some timeless music, though. You know, that's my thing. Is as long as we don't lose the music and the bars,
like,
I think we'll be able to. What do you want from these
artists? Do you want them to be successful, or do you just want them to be popular?
No, you want them to make exactly what you want them to make. Like Burger King, when you have it your way. I don't want you to add extra pickles. I don't want you to add nothing I don't want. I want you to the same way you gave it to me the first time I heard you. That's what I want forever.
But that's not art. Art is the purpose of art is elevation, ain't it?
Now you see the issue.
Interesting. Well, people, I'm looking into the camera. You know when I look to the camera, I got something to say. Griselda, right now, if I had to make an argument, they're the hottest thing in hip hop right now.
No question.
Outside of the heavyweights that you know and love, there's nothing hotter than Griselda. I think that they're gonna continue to push the envelope. I think that the day one Griselda fans have to accept the fact that you guys are part of the success. Don't push back against the success. Be thankful that you helped get them there, right?
Precisely.
But they're not gonna give you the lo-fi rap that you fell in love with. They'll give you elements of it, but as they get more successful, with the success comes the gloss. So it is what it is. Speaking of Griselda, speaking of Westside Gunn in particular, he mentioned 2 albums are coming pretty soon. I feel like a year ago he said he was retiring. Now he's giving us 2 albums. I'm a little confused. Mace, maybe you can help me out here. Should we just not believe rappers when they say they're gonna retire?
Never believe rapper retirements. Ever in your life. There's never been a rapper that's been retired unless they passed.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And even then they keep still
bro.
putting out albums.
That's
you know what I mean?
crazy,
No
bro.
rapper retires. Don't believe Westside.
Especially when they
marketing
heating up.
ploy, which he's great at. Let's admit. You know, the merch he sells, the vinyl. You know, Westside know how to gather some attention. But he's absolutely not retiring.
I feel some type of way, bro. You told us he was giving us 1 more album. You not the rapper. Benny and Conway got it. Now you dropping 2 projects?
Westside's like the promoter of the club.
Facts.
He just brings everyone together, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Vince McMahon of the crib.
I'm telling
Well,
you, man.
for him, being Vince is his dream. You know what I'm saying?
I think he loves it.
He loves his wrestling shit. So, would you say that, are you excited for the new Westside projects?
Sure, because I know with it, I'm going to get some great Benny, I'm going to get some great Conway, and I'm going to get some great Griselda as a collaboration.
So not great Westside, you're talking about the features?
No, as a collaboration.
Oh,
You get what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
I feel like he's more of the curator of the album.
He's the best curator. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
To me, he's hood. He's like super hood Khaled.
The way Kanye would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he would put a bunch of people together. I think that's Westside's. That's his thing, and he's not sacrificing the bars, bro. That's my whole thing is do whatever you want to do when you make your music. Just don't sacrifice the bars and don't sacrifice the music. You know what I'm saying? You can make a pop song without sacrificing the music. You
Don't
feel what I'm
sacrifice the
saying?
Sonics.
Don't do it, bro. Don't lose the Sonics. Speaking of Jordan, don't lose the Sonics.
Don't lose the Sonics. Oh, man.
Seattle lost his Sonics.
There you go.
Yo, you know what? Westside Gunn, he's really like, I don't know, like if he graduated to what it being Hove's like lieutenants. It feels like now he's out here
Low key, right?
Yeah, low key.
He's Luka?
I wouldn't say he's Luka yet, but he's definitely like he's up there. Like there's a guy. If I had to do it, what was Al Neri? If you're really familiar with The Godfather, Al Neri was Michael Corleone's #1 hitman. Like he was real low key. He did a lot of things that you don't get to see in the movies, but if you read the book, Al was getting busy. Okay,
Shout out to Puzo.
And it seemed like he's getting that Al Neri status within Rock Nation. He's curating projects. He's
working.
He curated the was it the Davies project that's on the way?
Yeah, that looks good as well. I'm waiting on that.
And then you had Tyler Creator say that West Side inspired him to rap again.
And that's a big deal.
So now we listen to this Tyler album, and the album is pretty fire. You know, Dean, you giving me this look? I'm a little concerned.
Pretty fire?
Okay.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks.
Pretty
All right.
fire?
Maybe I'm underselling.
Very.
I'll say,
Let us
can
know,
I be
Dean.
honest? Can I be honest?
Talk to me,
Can
bro.
I be honest? I felt like the hype surrounding it, and then when I listened to the project, like people were hyping it like it was like a 12 or 13 out of 10. Then I listened to it, and it's still a strong 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was gonna be something mind-blowingly great. It's great, but it wasn't as great as the people told me it was.
That I didn't hear that, so I heard it. I got to listen to it from a raw perspective. I didn't even look at the features. I just listened to a record. Every record that hit me, then I looked to see who was on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But bro, that album is beautiful.
It slaps.
Bro.
Don't get it twisted.
Album
It
is
slaps.
crazy, dog.
What?
It slaps.
And it's
but
a breath of fresh air, man.
the way I'm just saying, the way people were telling me on the socials, I thought it was gonna be like.
That always ruins it.
Boom. I'll say this before I throw it to Mace. It moved J. Cole out the way. I got a J. Cole hot take for y'all, but we can get to that after we talk about Tyler's album. Mace, did you get to tap into that Tyler album?
I did, and you know, I've been a fan of Tyler for a minute. I won't even lie to you.
Okay.
Odd Future days, you know, shouts to Combat Jack, circa 2011 put me on the Odd
Yes, sir.
Future, you know, but
Rest in peace to Combat Jack.
rest
as
in
well.
peace,
R.I.P.
Combat. But Tyler, he has a knack for putting together albums well. You know, he dabbles into the production. You know, he's a prolific lyricist. You know what I mean? He cares about the art. So
Facts.
he cares about his albums. But this album here, y'all, pretty good.
Okay.
I said
pretty fire. I said pretty fire.
Pretty fire. Nah,
Fire,
you
bro.
know, listen.
Starts
Just
on
like
fire.
you mentioned, I think that it might be moving J. Cole out for album of the year contention.
Okay,
Y'all. I
okay.
mean, you don't have a lot of I guess nominations this year. You know,
Not
we
yet.
haven't had any heavy hitters. A lot of good albums, nothing groundbreaking. But this album was a breath of fresh air, man. I mean,
Introspection like a motherfucker.
you feel me? You threw the DJ Drama on there, and if you from my era,
That's a fact.
Gangsta Grills.
Honestly,
come on now.
DJ
Come on.
Drama was the first person that legitimately moved Clue out the way as the voice of
Yo,
the
all
DJ
the way.
voice
That's
of
a
rap.
fact, bro.
When he was on the project, you were like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" All right.
You
let me
had to
listen.
pay
Let me
attention.
listen.
Your man said we take Rolls Royces to see alligators on the record, bro.
God.
Come on, man.
Oh my God!
Diddy
All right, listen,
talk.
listen. All right, listen. When I say pretty fire, it's not from the perspective of I don't think it's good. I just thought it wasn't as good as people told me it was.
Because you got overhyped.
I got overhyped.
That's why.
That's all it was. But listening to the project, Corso off the rip. Whoa.
Baudelaire, you skipping Baudelaire?
No, I'm telling you the
think he
joints that
might.
stood out for me.
Copy.
Okay.
Baudelaire was fire.
Fire.
Corso came through right after that with the body blow. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Lumberjack.
Lumberjack,
my new theme
crazy.
song, by the way.
Lumberjack is
Manifesto. Fire. Hot Wind Blows. Fire.
Minus the Wayne, and even Wayne.
Now,
actually,
Wayne got off. I can't even talk bad. Wayne got off.
Shout out to Lang. I'm gonna give Lang a little respect on this because actually, while listening to the verse, he popped into my head. It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Man.
It was.
Shout
Wayne
outs
found
to
a
Wayne
pocket.
solidifying himself for B-Dot's top 10 list. You know, I know you guys could not
He's actually been
stand
on
that
the
last
Are you
year.
a Wayne fan?
Wayne fan. Wayne is in my top 5. I don't know if that's gonna
What?
get me tossed off the show, but I'm a huge Wayne fan.
You just got here, bro.
You know, I gotta gotta step up. I'm here for Wade. I'm here for Tupac. I'm here for a lot of rap round table.
Say that.
You know,
What the fuck are you talking about?
I got a Pac representative with me.
You're getting all of it, bro.
that's what I'm here for, actually, man. But yeah, you know, while I was saying that tongue in cheek, I disagree with Wayne being in the top 10 MCs this year. Currently. His song was great. I really like the song with NBA Youngboy. What's that? What's Your Name? That joint was crazy. The sample they flipped on that went off. Even the joint with Uzi.
And Pharrell, yeah,
you know, and which is
that's called Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut, which is interesting.
Pharrell got
because
off something crazy
For
on
real.
that. Whoever wrote his verse did a hell of a job.
Will Shire was fire. What I wanted to do, shout out to Sinners. What beat is that on Manifesto, bro? That's a beat that's already been made. I know
I'm about to spin it
Sinners.
back again, but
Yeah,
we're not
throwing
gonna
that
give him the
back.
free spin on this show.
The one with Domo Genesis.
yeah.
Nah, but here's what I'll say, because I want the listeners to be clear. When I say it was pretty fire, I'm not bashing it. I love this album. What I love about it specifically is the fact that it felt like to use film, it felt like a major production movie, like a big box office movie. When I listened to J. Cole album was really like tight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It felt like it was like the production was very simple. I got this album, the Sonics, to use your bar, the Sonics were big on his Tyler album.
For sure.
All
Even
the sounds,
even the bridges,
everything was just grabbing you. It was clear that he was going for something monumental with this project. The bar work, I think I said it to y'all years ago. I said that there's a couple of guys in the industry who are really good at rapping and they could really control the shit if they wanted to. And I named Tyler as one of them. And I was like, this is maybe 2016.
Igor album sold me, bro.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, if Tyler decided to continue to rap like this, who's stopping him from controlling it? His pocket work is amazing. His beat selection is amazing.
The skits were fire.
Is amazing. Even the gay talk that he was talking on there. I don't care about people being gay. I don't give a damn.
Live your life.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that hip hop, the machismo genre, I'm looking into the camera because I have to. the machismo genre that is hip hop. When you talk about wanting to have sex with Justin Bieber, it's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot for me. But because he's so good at rapping and it's art, I was okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
We don't care.
Absolutely
we like women.
not.
If you like dudes or you like chicks, that's your business.
Live
we
your
don't give a
life.
shit. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he was able to be himself in full.
Yeah.
This album is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Acoustically.
Sonic, yeah.
It's
beautiful.
It's stupid.
I can't go wrong
And I
with it,
felt
man.
like sometimes artists want to make big albums and they fail. This album was supposed to be big. I felt like DJ Drama made it bigger.
Right.
Huge. His presence made it. It just made it feel like, again, it just felt like a big budget blockbuster
The
summer
Slick Talk
event.
was beautiful on the album. The mother skit was dope.
His mom's is a wild lady.
Yeah, man. And the skit with we said I always knew I was gonna be the introspection on that shit was just
Talking
crazy.
about like I've always been
Fearless.
confident. Some people peaked in high school and all this and that. And I'm like, bro, like you letting us in.
You talking your shit, man.
And the Griselda inspiration on some of these tracks.
From Gunna.
I love some of the features, even have the randomness of some of the features.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned Youngboy, 42 Doug was on there.
Yeah, that was a joint too. That 42 Doug went off. Yeah.
You had a project that had Youngboy, 42 Doug, and Pharrell all on the same album. You don't get that in 2021.
You don't.
But I'll say this to you guys about J. Cole, because J. Cole had the critical album of the year up until this project dropped.
Facts.
Someone posted on Facebook and on Twitter that the J. Cole album was fire, but it didn't have the playback appeal. And I thought about it. I haven't played that album much since it dropped.
No, I disagree. I could see if they say that the Tyler has more playback. I respect it, but I let that J. Cole joint had some
I haven't
heat
played
on
it,
it,
Diddy.
man.
I haven't played it.
Since you listened to it, you haven't ran it back?
I haven't ran it back since
I've
like
ran it
the
back
first
a
week
few
it dropped.
times.
What you think, Mace?
You know, I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan.
Okay.
It took me a second to actually get into the album.
you go.
If you
Okay.
wanted me to keep it a buck. So the album, I won't say it has super replay value. It just took me a long while to get into it. But I definitely appreciated it, and I definitely thought it was Cole's best album. To me,
Intro was
you know,
beautiful. He
his
started the
fans
intro with
might
Cam.
disagree.
Better than
you
KOD?
know? Better than KOD.
I
to
definitely
me.
say so.
Better than KOD.
Started the intro with Killer.
Okay.
You feel me?
Nah, Killer on the intro was a vibe. Was a vibe. It was a vibe. It was a vibe.
Oh, bro.
All right, let's get into this whole situation. And you know what? I got something special for y'all here at the Rap Roundtable. Usually we just talk about the topic, but today I decided to get the sound effects for the topic. T-Pain went on a bit of a rant.
Oh, man.
And I want us here because I feel like we're obligated to talk about what he said.
Something different.
So let's hear what T-Pain had to say about the current state of hip-hop.
Said he pinned her ass down. Let's hear it.
Yeah, listen.
You know when your shit sounds like somebody else's shit. You're making it because because you're in the studio like, what's the #1 record right now? We need to make another one of those. Stop doing that! Stop! You're not original! Give me some original shit! Give me some... Are you seriously telling me that you sat here and watched me tell a bitch to eat a dick and you thought that wasn't original? Are you seriously sitting here telling me that eat a dick is the bad part of music? Stop! Just fucking do something else! Just, god damn it!
He's fat.
Do some different music!
Frustration.
We have all the shit that you're doing. We already have it. Lil Uzi Vert is already doing it. Lil Baby is already doing it. Dumb Baby is already doing it. It's literally 2 niggas with baby in their names that's already doing all the music you want.
It's a lot of littles.
Do something else. Do something else. That's it. That's all we want. Do something else. Holy shit.
Yo, he's going in.
We
Pain
have
got
it.
the YouTube
We have it
algorithm
already.
going crazy.
You don't have to do that music anymore. We have the music already. We have Lil Baby. We have Dub Baby. We have Lil Uzi Vert. We have Lil Yachty. We have Lil everybody. Do something else. Holy
This
shit.
couldn't come from a better person.
Stop sending me this bullshit. And then get mad when I fucking don't like it. Jesus. God damn tap dancing Christ.
Wow.
Give this man a Snickers.
Do something else.
Wow, wait.
Yo, get this man a Snicker.
Yo,
Yo,
that man is frustrated.
it's crazy to see how the world comes full circle, right? Because remember when Hove dropped DOA?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Killed the whole vibe.
Now T-Pain is Hove, screaming do something else.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Right.
Like no one's been talking about this angle since it happened, you know.
That's true.
No one has mentioned the DOA angle.
That is
You
true.
have become the old head that you got mad at 15 years ago.
But I think maybe it's different because he's kind of the one that kind of like started that wave again. Maybe when you start the wave, you don't feel the same way.
Oh, talk about it,
You know what I'm saying? Like, who will we say started the form of music that everyone's rapping right now?
A lot of people say Chief Keef is a very key component.
Let's say the
You got
drill,
the
the drill
Migos.
sound.
You got a few people.
There you go. When you take all of these people, it's like a door, bro.
Yo, we
Like-
got the Migos.
Well,
While Diddy's getting his point off.
Got you.
A little bit of the Migos.
Like once you walk through a door, and like I said, this is the issue of when the music industry, the business side of it takes over the artistry side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's someone listening to us pod right now, and somebody's like, yo, the formula they have, the chemistry they have, the vibe they have, you know what I'm saying? If they would want to try to recreate it, put it in the studio so they can get the same type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? It's like listening to a record, you're like, I love this record. I want to recapture that sound of that record. And you do. And you put it out and it gets a great reception. And then another person listens to you do it. And like Nucci said on the joint, like a home studio is not exactly that much nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And you can pretty much just keep remaking everything that's hot. And then everyone just does that. Next thing you know, you just have 150 people making the same type of music, bro.
Right. Now, Dean, I gotta say I agree with you, but I also think that what we dealing with here is, you know, to tie in both of y'all points, that this is repressed anger that we have from T-Pain. Because everybody stole his style. And we got
true.
people to this day, Future, Travis
Still.
Scott, selling out arenas with his style. So I think
Kanye.
he may be screaming at the new folks for stealing, but he also is a little upset that everybody stole his style. But now for my actual opinion on it, while I do agree, you know, I'm tired of hearing a little this and a little that, this is what we deal with in the rap. You know, when Pac was the guy, we got a million Pacs down to Lil Zane. You know, when
Zane.
Ja Rule to Lil Zane. You know, you bring it to more modern times. We got a million Futures, a million Waynes. You know, whoever's the hot guy, we gonna have a bunch of people that are copying the style. That's just the nature of the game. That's just the nature of music.
Say what we want about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne does have a million clones in hip hop,
so
bro.
many.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people really look to Lil Wayne as like you said, you have him in your top 5.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if nothing else, Lil Wayne, that would be a claim to fame for me, bro. If I'm not a big fan of music, the free world is. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta give it the respect where it's due.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. I guess the thing I would say is he's yelling, do something else. But the gatekeepers are not requiring that you do something else. You know what I mean? Like we could tell you do something else, and we saw that Griselda made a way. We keep mentioning them because they are the outlier to the rap game. More often than not, you gotta have the auto-tune and some sing-songy bullshit to get on. And every now and again, some of that sing-songy bullshit hits because the artist is good. Like, for every Lil Baby, there's a bunch of garbage ass niggas. Let's be clear. Let's be clear about that. There's only one Lil Baby. There's only one Roddy Ricch. There's a lot of niggas trying to replicate what they've accomplished, and they're just not good. And I feel like that's who T-Pain is speaking to. But if the powers that be, the power brokers, the gatekeepers are not forcing you to actually rap and do some good shit, then why should they do something else?
But that's the downside. That's the weird side to it. Because I'm like, Griselda took a different route, and now they're cooking. Tyler took a different route, and he's cooking. You get what I'm saying? Like even when Schoolboy drops and he does this thing, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be exactly the same like someone else's to be dope. Nah. Like even Travis Scott took a lot of Kanye's vibe and translated
Kanye, little ASAP.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he became there you go. He became a star with that. Like sometimes you got to take the little parts that's dope, but you don't got to copy the whole entire vibe. You know what I'm saying? Today there's a formula. Like make the song like this, make the bridge like this, make the hook like this. It's got to get the girls to dance. It's got to get the dudes to vibe. If it don't do that, the shit's trash.
But my fault, Dini. Didn't Pop Smoke rest in peace kind of show us that you don't have to do what they want you to do to make some hot shit?
Exactly.
Pop had girls like put it this way: New York grime / drill. Girls be dancing to that.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have the tone, bro. When Pop come on, the ladies go crazy.
So we don't have to throw the auto tune on your vocals to do some shit.
Would you say that's commercial music?
I think no. I don't. Pop made a record that went crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a mainstream song. It's not a commercial song. So it's definitely doable, bro. You can still make Griselda's doing. You can make hood music that can sell out in the stores. You know what I'm saying? It's just gotta be fire.
So when T-Pain says do something else, you kind of vibe with him.
Because a lot of people are doing something else. And if you look at it, the people that's getting the most acclaim and the buzz right now is the people that's doing something else. There's not too many Pops where you can stay the same for your whole life and the world will love you for it. Like a Pusha T, where you've been rapping pretty much on the same type of shit since '98, and we still love you for it. That's remarkable barman shit, bro.
True. Barman shit. That's a word.
Thank you.
Barman shit.
I think Diddy coined one.
Diddy always have my moments, bro.
Yo,
I like
the
that.
Rap Roundtable like dictionary is all Diddyisms.
It's a legend.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
it's
that.
all Diddyisms, bro.
I'm telling you.
We're getting a shirt with that made. Barmanship. Like that
shit, bro.
Sidewalk nigga, barmanship. We gotta add Sonics to that. What about the Sonics?
Rap is wrestling. Hip hop is wrestling.
Hip hop is wrestling.
She can rap. We got a few.
Rap.
Oh no.
We got a few, man. Get off my lawn, man. We got a few,
Get off my
man.
lawn. Listen, the more y'all stay with us, y'all can get all the isms.
Get in tune.
Tap in with us. But you're 100% right, Dini. Just do some shit that's fire, and people will fuck with it. I think if nothing else, Pop, rest in peace, and Griselda has shown you that you don't have to follow the formula to get hot. Even rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey wasn't doing any of that sort of thing. And he got, even before he passed, he got hot because he made a great album, a great body of work that didn't require auto-tune. I think like Dedication might have had a little auto-tune in that particular song. But for the most part, it was.
Did Roddy use it in Racks in the Middle? Not on that, so forget that.
That's Roddy. That's not him though. You feel me? But he made a great album, and it was just great music, and it made you feel something. You know what I'm saying?
Blue Laces
and I feel
too.
like if you have the ability to make great music, you don't have to succumb to industry norms in order to do so. It's just a matter of having the ability.
Now, we're not gonna segue to this.
Okay, talk to me.
But
Making me nervous.
That's how I be feeling about the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
If the talent is there, you don't gotta go too crazy.
Oh man. You
What we
said that
gonna-
about
what you
Cardi.
referring
You
to,
said
Dave?
that the visuals was better than the sonics.
That's
you
what
said
I'm saying.
that.
But if the bar work is there, like I said, a Tierra Whack, like a Nicki, you know what I'm saying? Like granted they was written for Kim and Foxy, you know what I'm saying? You just respected the bar work, bro.
Right.
I love the bar work.
It's tough that the girls, the women, who can rap, they have to work harder
Way harder.
to get the respect as opposed to the women who can marginally rap,
Cause it's a man's game.
who they do what they got to do to get hot.
I dig it. You know what I'm saying? But don't get mad at the listener for wanting to see that part more than they want to hear your rap part. You know what I'm saying?
Sin is upset.
I know.
He's listening to this
Live
right
from
now.
California.
And he's
Shout out to my
pissed
guy
the fuck
Sin.
off. Like he's gonna
Listening
come
to
back
California
for
Love,
episode
just
32,
upset.
and he's gonna be heated.
I'm loving it. Bring it on if
Yo,
you think you can hang. And if not,
The mailbag segment is gonna be all of Sin's responses to our takes. Next episode.
That was the
He's
Sin.
gonna be tight.
shout out my guy with the fam right now.
Yo, I got a question for you before we get back into the women's talk. So I would say since about the early stages of the pandemic, bars have been controlling the culture.
Damn sure right.
Like all of the rappers who can actually rap are the popular rappers right now.
Facts.
At first, I thought this was a fad. I thought it was because outside was closed. I'm starting to believe that the bars mattering movement has a lot of sustainability. It can last. I'll ask Mace this first. Do you believe that the bars matter wave can last? Or is it a fad that's gonna disappear one day?
I think it can last.
Speak your truth, bro. Don't even hesitate.
Now, I will say this. I don't know if I'm being, I'm just hoping that it will last. I don't know. You sometimes you lie to yourself.
Who cares
We
what
can't
they
help
say?
it.
Hopes and dreams.
We can't help it.
Speak
But
your truth, bro.
just like you say, y'all, when all of the most prominent artists out right now, they care about their lyrics, they care about their art, they care about putting their albums together. We've been talking about Tyler, we've been talking about Westside. We still waiting on you, Kendrick. It's been 4 years.
God damn it.
Like, hurry up,
Say
bro.
it again.
Drake,
Mace.
Cole just dropped, and this was his best, lyrically, this was his best album.
Say
You know
that.
what I mean? So I'm hoping that bars matter, that this is gonna be, something that lasts. I'm gonna say yes, y'all.
Okay.
Bars are gonna matter for the near and distant future in hip hop.
I love to hear it. Before I go to D Need for a change, I'm gonna jump in right here.
Yeah.
I hope that if there's any good thing to come out of the pandemic, entertainment-wise, is the fact that we got all of the fluff the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hope that the Bars Matter movement can sustain, because just because we say bars matter doesn't mean that we don't want to party. We still want to listen to Lil Durk and Lil Baby. We
Believe
still
it.
want to listen to
That's
Da
smart.
Baby. We still want to listen to 42 Doug and all these other young guys.
Uzi, Future.
Uzi, Future. We still want to listen to the drill vibes and the ground vibes in New York City,
Facts.
Chicago, etc. The music coming out of the West Coast.
Pop Smoke.
The West Coast is just as bar heavy as the East Coast these days.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, all of the little this, like the little pumps and the little fuck niggas all over the world, get them out of here. At this point, the pandemic has proven that you have to be able to make sustainable music to matter. And I hope and I believe that the Bars Matter movement is gonna sustain, because people are not in the space anymore to listen to bullshit. And I believe that Bars Matter will sustain, bro. What do you think, Dini?
I think the pandemic has been a crisis and a boon at the same time.
Oh.
Like we've benefited from the pandemic. What the pandemic made everyone do is sit the fuck down.
Talk about it.
And listen to something for a change. You couldn't go to the club and shake your ass. You couldn't go to the club and get light or vibe out the way you do. You know what I'm saying? You had to sit down and actually eat this music. You had to let it stick to your ribs. Like how you had to let the pod stick to your ribs. So you sat down, you listened to the pod. You sat down, you listened to music. You had to actually enjoy the music to enjoy the music because you wasn't just dancing to it. Now you're listening to it. You're soaking it up. I think bars are here, bro, and I think they're back. I think people can still dance and still have great music to rap. Like I said, man, it was in the 90s, it was the thing. The music had to be entertaining and still barful. We can do that today. It looks like we're on the way to doing it. It can definitely stick around. If the people want it, the artists can make it, keep it going. Keep it going, because I'm tired of the every 2 seconds.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
It has its moments.
Right.
It works in segments.
There you go.
But then I hear Benny do that flow with bars. It's like, I don't listen to this other guy when Benny's giving me the same flow with actual words that I care about.
That's a fact.
And you gotta appreciate the fact, I can't remember the last time since Lil Wayne, gentlemen, that rappers were excited to be the best rapper alive.
That
you
is
know what
true.
I mean? We seeing lives, we seeing Instagram posts, we seeing even diss tracks where people are really concerned about actually being the best rapper.
Think
Like,
about
come
that
on
whole thing
now.
with B-Dot's list, Mace, about what spawned from with Conway and Jim Jones.
Right.
About bars, competition.
Come on, when's the last time we really seen that?
Well, yeah, when's the last time there was
minute.
any conversation about bars? It's
been a
usually
minute.
about money. It's usually about I can get more joints than you. That
You know,
shit-
I clipped your
You know what I'm
girl or
saying?
something. It's terrible out here. Let's talk
Jones.
about the bars, man.
I love to see it, bro. Now, there's a question that I saw on social media about why isn't there an all ladies tour featuring Cardi, Meg Thee Stallion, and the City Girls? Now, Diddy, relax, Diddy, down, boy, easy, killer. Easy. I understand that Cardi's pregnant, so she probably can't do a tour right now. But the fact is, this is not in the atmosphere is a little questionable to me, considering they all have music in the atmosphere right now. Considering their impact on the culture, Dini, relax. Why don't we see some kind of tour taking place? What's going on here? Dini, you can go first.
I said it like 1,000 years ago from the pod, bro.
Talk about it, family.
Sin disagree with me, and you actually came and defended me, bro. Women don't get along, bro. Oh, man. Get over it. Come on. Stop it. Look at the DJ Khaled song. They got 50 niggas on the song.
That's crazy.
50 niggas on the tour. There's no reason, bro. There's no money issue. There's no scheduling issue.
bro.
Like, you can
That's
fly from
crazy,
here to,
bro.
like, fucking Jerusalem in like 10 minutes nowadays, bro. Like, I don't want to hear it. They just don't like each other, bro. Some of these chicks got songs together.
All right, so what do you say to the people? Let's say, so who's buying the records then? Because we not buying them.
That's my point. It's
not.
first of all, it's the same way I feel about the WNBA, bro. It's more women than men. So if women alone supported it, they wouldn't even need us, bro. You know what I'm saying? In and of itself. If I'm telling you right now, if Cardi B, Meg, City Girls said we're doing the tour, and they get maybe some classic female rap acts like a Kim or Nicki or Foxy, and then they bring out some new joints that's on their way, like a Tierra Whack, like what's Shorty's name on drum work? 7 something.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that, and then you would be able to big up the current ladies.
Because I don't remember her name. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn it, man. Big up the up and coming ladies and big up the ladies of before, bro. I'd pay for that, bro. That would be a
fire
show.
tour. That would
So
sell out every
time out.
arena. I'm not gonna lie.
So the women
They
who-
need to give Dini points on that.
Dini ain't he preaching, but what you saying is they got to be able to rap for Dini to care. Like the women who throw ass, you don't care about them.
Okay,
We got to
granted,
be clear about this.
granted, Cardi alone would not get me to a show.
Okay.
Meg alone would not get me to a show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Nicki alone wouldn't get me to a show.
So if you got a little Tierra Whack in there,
That's what
a
I'm
little
saying.
Rhapsody
A little
in there, you might
Rhapsody.
mess with it.
and a little Missy maybe, like every city you touch, you bring out the
What
famous.
about Lauryn Hill?
Bring her out, especially if she's rapping this shit from the score. You know how I love the score. That's my shit.
Diddy's in red form, bro.
I'm talking about you bring every city you touch. Like you bring out a lady from wherever that's from. You touch Jersey, you bring out Queen Latifah. You touch where's Salt and Pepper and them from? Ain't they from Jersey too?
I believe so.
Everywhere you touch, you bring the ladies out. You name the tour ladies
Nah,
night,
but you
bro.
think about for how big of an act City
It would
Girls,
be ridiculous.
Meg and Cardi are. Why we don't get the tour? Like why hasn't the industry finagled that yet?
Don't let a New York or Cali show happen and they bring Nicki out.
You don't even need Cardi.
It would be
Meg and the City Girls should be headliners.
It'd be a gate. No, but Cardi B, that was a big song Cardi had with the City Girls though. You can't take that off of a tour. The chicks love that song.
WAP with Meg is a big
there
deal
you
too.
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna twerk with us. That song was major, bro. Like they can change the game with that, and don't blame no men like the men are the gatekeepers. No, bro. If they said we want to do that tour, nobody would say we're not with it,
The
bro.
men are the gatekeepers, but the men love money more than anything else.
There you go, and all those chicks are money makers. And like I said,
So why hasn't the tour happened?
Cause like I said,
All right, logistically, let me break it down. Let me break it down. Logistically, this is why the tour hasn't happened.
Okay.
To be honest, Meg wasn't that big of an artist until the quarantine happened. You know,
Because of Tory?
I mean, oh man, you giving us top ad lib for Meg now. Oh man, you're gonna get taken down.
Entertainment.
But Meg wasn't, Savage came out after. That's the joint with Beyonce that she won a Grammy for. That didn't come out until after the quarantine had already started. A couple of her bigger records didn't start until the quarantine started. So Meg really wasn't on the level.
Quarantine.
She did, but I don't think you were thinking that Meg was on the level to
Mega
go
stardom.
on. Yeah, you know what I mean? So while Cardi, her debut, which she hasn't dropped a follow-up to yet, it went out of here. I don't think that the City Girls and Meg were really big enough to go on tour with it. And then by the time that you can go on tour again now, Cardi's pregnant. And honestly, the City Girls only have a couple of big records. So I think logistically the tour couldn't have gone together when you really look at, each artist's discography, where they've gone, you know what I mean? Now, honestly, that's the logistics. That's that argument. But honestly, I gotta go with Diddy, man. I mean, I know who if Meg and Cardi are on tour, who's gonna close?
Who's not accepting that, bro?
Cardi's a closing act.
Is Meg gonna accept that?
She has to.
Meg just won 2 Grammys, didn't she?
But she got a
gonna
bigger
say
artist.
I'm closing? I agree with you, but does Meg believe that?
That's
Is
a
all
good
I'm
question.
trying to say.
That's
Didn't
fair.
she not thank her when she won the Grammy? It was Cardi's song. She didn't even thank
And
Cardi
even
herself.
if she closed, she got a record with her, Mo. You know what I'm saying? So
let me
she
ask
still
y'all
gonna be
this.
on the closing stage.
Right.
I got a good question for y'all. Are these artists like legitimate like arena sellout stars, or are they internet stars?
Bro, like you
City Girls are internet
you ever
stars.
see the way women react when a City Girl record cuts on though, bro?
Hey, you right about that.
Shit get different. Like
So they're stars. Is what you're
they're
saying?
I mean, maybe not their headliner, but if they can definitely be like they're better than the openers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They could be like the people that pop up right before the headliner come out. Like I don't see why they can't come out with Cardi. Cardi come out, do the twerk, and then Cardi go into her set. And I don't know what other records they may have together, but then they can pop back out for a set. You know what I'm saying? Megan can pop out for the WAP joint. Come on, bro. Or even if Nicki was on Good Time, they could pop out for the Migos record they did together. What's the Motorsport?
You know that's not happening.
Definitely
We can
not.
dream, bro.
You right.
We can dream. I'm just saying, like, the ladies, y'all can make it happen. Like, y'all gotta stop blaming us for everything that y'all don't want to do. Y'all can have a conversation, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, Google, whatever you want to do. Holler at each other, set something up, make some money. Set like what the last big tour of the world's been like Hard Knock Life.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm not
saying-
I feel like I think Young Money had a tour that was crazy.
Okay, but you don't think if they did that and headline like a Missy, headline a couple of big name ladies, bro? Maybe Queen Latifah's a little too like bourgeois now to get to jump in there, but you get Salt and Pepper, you get Angie Martinez, ladies, like you can really rock it out, bro.
I'll say this:
City to city,
the Rap Roundtable is open for women to join us at the table
pull up,
and talk about this. Not just Jeray, we love you, Jeray.
fuck with us.
Shout out to Jeray.
But women, if you want to come through and talk to Diddy specifically,
Holla at me, man.
you're free to join us.
It's a safe space right
It's
here.
a safe space. We had a list come out the other day. I threw it in the group chat. I threw it over to Mace about the top selling albums of 2021 thus far. I'm not gonna get into the list because people can do their Googles. They can find that
Right.
on their own. We're not here to tell them that.
Facts.
Like, do your Googles, okay? But I want to talk about what surprised me, Mace.
Let's hear it.
Seeing Moneybagg Yo, as of right now, has the highest selling rap album
Highest.
of 2021.
Yes.
For all the critical acclaim that J. Cole has had and his large scale fan base, I know granted release dates have something to do with the numbers.
Of
We
course.
already know that. But for Moneybagg Yo to be pushing 660K sales on the way to platinum,
Shouts to Moneybagg,
that kind of surprised me.
That
Pooh
boy doing
Shiesty.
it.
I didn't know Pooh Shiesty
Pooh
was that
Shiesty
high.
is cooking
Pooh
them out there. The
Shiesty.
ladies like Pooh Shiesty, man.
And the
42.
youngins love Pooh Shiesty
There you go.
too, man. My
If the
young
ladies
boys
and the kids,
love
you got 'em,
Pooh
you got 'em.
Shiesty. They think he like the new Biggie or something.
And
I
then the
don't know what's
other one,
going on.
Rod Wave. I don't even listen to Rod
I didn't even
Wave.
get to listen to that album. That's the one of the few I didn't listen to off this.
So Mace,
Polo G shit was hard.
I feel like you more likely to tap in with some of these acts. I like
Yeah.
Moneybagg, but Rod Wave, I'm not even gonna front like I tap in with him. I
Right.
don't.
Yeah, I thought.
Are you surprised by the fact that in the top 4, Moneybagg Yo, Pooh Shiesty, and Rod Wave populate those spaces?
I was surprised, not by that. I'll tell you what I was surprised by in a second. But no, I wasn't surprised because if you tap into the youth, the youngins love Pooh Shiesty. Even Moneybagg Yo, Moneybagg Yo has a strong female fan
That's
base.
a
He has a
fact.
strong street fan base. Moneybagg Yo hits a lot of demographics that if you're not tapped in, you might not realize.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even Rod Wave, he got the soulful, he got that street guy who wanna hear about his struggle type of, lane that, is always open if you think about it. But I wanna say a couple things surprised me, y'all. A couple things surprised me. No platinum records this far into the year. Nothing platinum. That kind of threw me
That's
off.
a fact.
You know what I mean? We used to have cats selling 700,000 the first week.
man.
First week.
True.
So I was very surprised that we didn't have one platinum album. I was also surprised that we had no West Coast representation
It's
on the
been
list.
quiet on the West Coast recently.
Very South, Midwest, and East heavy. I mean,
Yeah. A lot of Memphis on
yeah,
this.
a lot of Memphis on there. A lot, we got a couple Chicago artists. Polo G was in there. I didn't think that was necessarily a strong album, but
It was
he
alright,
made his
actually.
way in there.
I listened to it.
I liked it. I liked a couple of his earlier joints
can
before, but Polo, but I was very surprised about that. No West Coast artists, very, very, I think we're at the point where the Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, we'll call it the Big Sean generation and throw Java Bone.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So that generation is now becoming
Because Big Sean is platinum. Thank you.
Big Sean is platinum.
Plat.
We throw Wale, Meek Mill,
No,
just
don't
that
throw
whole
Wale in there. I don't know
generation
if
is
Wale-
I don't know
becoming.
about Wale.
They becoming the OGs of the generation, though. I looked at the list. I saw Lil TJ up there. You know what I mean? I saw Rod Wave up there. I'm like, we really on the cusp of a new generation starting. Lil Baby and Dirt got their collaboration joint up there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the best.
It wasn't,
I wasn't
bro.
the best.
I was
I like
disappointed.
Dirk's and Baby's albums separately a
That's
lot
a
better
fact.
than their collabs,
Facts.
but I was very, I was taken aback. And even when you look at the list, you got people like The Baby who are not on the list, Meg, Cardi, Roddy Ricch, a lot of newer artists, A Boogie. There's a lot of, that's what kind of took me off guard. We really at a point where we have a whole new generation. And while we've been listening to rap for so long, that, just like I said, the Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole generation are the new generation to us. But we now at a point where we're past those guys, you know what I mean? And even they're the OGs of the game, and we got youngins compared to them. So those things stuck out to the list, on the list to me a lot, y'all.
I mean, points were made there. I can't even argue that. But I'll say this: as much as there is a new generation, Cole gonna go platinum by the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Is Moneybagg gonna go platinum?
I think so.
When Certified Lover Boy drops, he's gonna go platinum in a week.
Oh, yeah.
That's Drake. I'm saying.
When Kendrick finally feels like dropping, he's gonna go
Next-
platinum in a week.
It
When's that
depends.
gonna
Maybe 3
happen?
weeks.
It depends on what new singles drop too.
Fair.
If the singles are tough, the singles
Fair
are
play.
tough.
I feel like Mace pointed out about the lack of West Coast presence. I feel like the West Coast, for the most part, is controlled by TDE. I feel like a lot of people operate around them, even if they're not signed to the label. There's guys like Boogie who dropped last year who did some things. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of guys are waiting for whatever TDE does as far as Schoolboy, as far as Kendrick, as far as all the other acts there, who J-Rock, etc. who are hot. Absol.
Right. Solo.
I feel like a lot of acts are waiting. Like the Game hasn't moved units in quite a while like that. So I don't look for units from Game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the West Coast is kind of controlled by TDE as far as at that level. It's pretty much, it's content, high level content, below record sales.
Anderson .Paak's doing this thing, but I would.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I don't look at Anderson .Paak as a rapper. Like not in the same vein of a Kendrick.
I think that hit that he had with Bruno Mars just pushed him out of the rapper.
Oh,
league.
man.
I always consider he's a rapper.
He's a pop act to me.
His price went up for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Facts. But I look at some of these guys. Polo G. This is we talked about bars mattering. Polo G got hot off of rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that TikTok video that he had, that where people were making TikToks off of that one rap, I can't memorize it right now, but it was basically talking about being in school and this and that. And I knew about Polo G from TikTok before I knew his music, because people were using the first 6 or 8 bars of that verse for TikTok videos. I'm like, this is kind of fire. Who is this guy? And then via satellite radio, I was able to tap in with them. Satellite gets everything first. Listeners, if you don't have Sirius, free promo for Sirius. Tap in. Have the artists that you fall in love with on Sirius before they get on any other platform. Polo G excites me because he can rap.
Did you hear the Hall of Fame album?
It's tough. I did.
He was rapping.
The fact that he got hot off of rapping, the fact that he didn't sell out and do this excessive auto-tune singing.
And he's doing drill while rapping.
There
you
go.
So
that gives me hope that, this wave that we talk about with bars matter. This man showed to date 561K.
That's
off
a big
of
move.
Bars.
Yeah.
#1 record as well.
That's a big move.
Beat the Migos off of bars. Migos.
I'm surprised he's not even on this list.
I mean, because it depends on when it dropped.
Right.
That was definitely a 2021 album, no?
Yeah, but the Polo
they
G
moved 183
the
first
Polo G
week.
album we talking about just dropped. There was another release prior to. First quarter vibes.
Right.
The most recent release didn't move 561K.
Gotcha.
No way. Polo G's hot, but he's not that hot.
That's a lot.
You know what I mean?
Nobody
No way.
apparently is that hot these days.
But yeah, that push.
I mean, Polo G got a #1, but it speaks to the fact that he moved 561K from his Hall of Fame release, followed that up, and beat the Migos to a #1. Off of Culture 3. That's off of rapping.
Come on now.
And the thing is, the Migos pulled out all the gimmicks to get #1, and they still couldn't get it.
The Drake cheat code, the Pop Smoke cheat code.
My man Quavo took back the roles. Like, come on now. They was
I
pulling out the
just,
stops.
I just don't understand how you have a Drake feature, a pop feature, and granted,
Somebody else was on that
Straightening
list.
is fire.
It is.
But you have a Drake feature and a pop feature, and you don't run with that. And the pop feature is classic.
Fire.
That's a grime song. That's grime to me.
on.
Light it up.
And then the thing is, granted, Quavo's on the hook. I'm a little disappointed that Offset was rapping on that. I would have got Offset off the song altogether.
I like Offset.
I would have had
man.
Quavo, Pop, and Takeoff.
Nah, you had to. I think
Takeoff smashed that
this is a it's
Takeoff
the
smashes
R&P record,
most of
bro.
his verses.
It's the R&P record. You have to have the whole set on. You know how
Yeah,
it
you
goes.
gotta have the whole team on.
let
I
Offset
agree
do
with
the
you,
hook,
Dane.
bro. We needed a Quavo verse.
That's true.
Cause the way Pop came, when we talked about this last episode, Pop came on, bodied it.
You a gorgeous little gangster.
There you go.
He was cooking.
And then Takeoff.
Posthumous King
Every
in
time
New
I
York.
listen to Takeoff is like Migos' version of Styles to me.
Pop.
Yeah,
Styles P,
they be
roll
rapping,
it
bro.
together. Yeah, Takeoff
He be rapping.
since 2013. Takeoff been going
I didn't
on.
believe in him to the Rocket album. The one he was sitting on the Rocket. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one you talking about?
The one that has Casper on it. He's literally sitting on top of the
Oh,
rocket.
yeah,
That's,
yeah, yeah,
That's
I
the
know
one
what you-
that made me a believer. You
Honestly,
did that Takeoff.
I kind of want Takeoff to leave the Migos flow alone and adopt a bit of the New York cadence. Because he has a lot to say. And I feel like people won't take him seriously if he keeps flowing the Migos way.
Think so?
Because he's nice, bro.
He be spitting.
But sometimes the delivery means more than the bar work. And if you keep hearing people don't want to listen to what you're saying. But if you slow it down, if you dumb it down and go to that New York cadence,
Takeoff's had some good verses.
Takeoff could be arguably he could be in the best rapper conversations if he changed his flow.
And that's a little unfair. I'll say that's a little unfair, y'all, because I agree with you. If he did switch up his flow, we probably appreciate it more. But that's his flow. Everybody else took it and made it stale.
But look at what the solo album did. The Migos solo project spoke to the fact that some of these guys don't need to go solo.
Nah,
And then the album's the last rock.
All right. So if you change the flow and go a little more East Coast with it, or even get your Andre 3K on, I think Takeoff will go further than all of them.
Think so?
Hell,
I think Offset.
Takeoff is nice.
Takeoff is nice.
Quavo's done a lot though, bro.
But Quavo is the pop act of the group.
Yeah, he's the
If
Beyonce.
we just talking Barsmith, to use your bar, Takeoff is that guy, bro.
Offset be spitting too though, bro.
Offset be spitting, but
He be having some verses,
That's
man.
tough,
I can't
that's
front
tough.
on
I'm
my
not
son
saying
Offset.
Offset is weak, but Takeoff he laps both of them, bro, lyrically. And it's easy for him, bro.
when I
I
became an
be seeing
initial
Offset have
Migos
some
fan,
moments, man.
when I became an initial Migos fan, I thought Takeoff was the best rapper. I won't lie. You know, I might have got convinced through media, but initially I thought Takeoff was the best rapper.
You're not saying nothing wrong.
But I don't know if he can make an album
hits,
full of
yeah.
songs that I want to hear.
I
you
mean,
know?
the last Rocket was fire. I mean, I don't know if you heard the album. That's what I'm talking about. That album is actually fire. You should listen to it, bro.
I check it out.
It had Last Memory, had Casper, had a
Listen.
few joints on there.
Change the flow, Takeoff, and I'm telling you, the conversation surrounding him is gonna change, bro.
I heard this live and direct. So if he ever changes his flow to a New Yorkie vibe and it takes off, Jarvie called it. You
John need
heard?
points on that Takeoff.
Just think about the cadence. Just change it, and the whole conversation environment changes.
Tap
That
in,
got
take
Wayne
off.
selling 10 million records. Hang out with
went from
Dipset.
wobbly wobble. There you go. The minute he got with Dipset and Gilly, everything changed. You know, I always
never
gotta
let
get that
Gilly
in.
shit go,
Got
man.
to. Gilly, shout out to Gilly the King.
All right, we in a stretch run here. We running out of time. Let's get to it quickly. The last topic of the episode, we're gonna talk about the news broke this week. Lox versus Dipset. Woo. That's an exciting time for New York City.
Oh, man.
It represents an era. It represents a vibe that has yet to be matched in New York. Hip hop, the aesthetic,
To this
the
day.
swag,
To give
the
the people.
music. The first question I have for you guys is, how excited are you to see Dipset versus the Lox at Madison Square Garden? Lang, I was just about to say Lang. Dini, talk to me.
I mean, how much more major does it get, bro? These are like street artists, bro. You know what I'm
on.
saying? From the dirt with it.
Yeah,
MSG, bro.
yeah.
Like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
This is like when you beat the game and you get to the final board or whatever.
Final.
This is the final level.
And then let you know you got a character that you never played with. It's like, there's no other better like group to do this with, bro. I thought about this.
Dipset versus Lox at the Garden, bro.
There's no one
This is
else,
amazing.
bro. There's no one else in New York City you can do that with. This is gold.
Not even Rockefeller, because most of the rock was from Philly.
There
Right.
you go.
Right.
Like this is you can't beat this. This is. I mean, if I had to choose who I think is gonna win, I'm probably gonna have to go with the Lox. You know what I'm saying? It's just way too much more earlier music.
Ah, Danny, you breaking my
They've
heart.
been around so much longer, bro.
You right.
And they still doing their thing.
Y'all, I'm glad you let me go first. I'm going with the set, man. I
Okay.
love the Lox, but I'm going with the set, and I don't know if it's, you know, maybe it's the age bracket. You know, me and Dean only a couple years apart. I'm not trying, but I'm just saying, man. Like, I broke it down like this,
Talk to
Dean.
me.
We go 5 Dipset records.
Okay.
We go 5 Cam records. We go 5 Jewel's records.
I thought it was 10-10.
I think it's 2020.
He's breaking down the 20 into like the options they have.
Copy.
Yeah. So you know you got the 5. I think each artist gets 20 records,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So 5 for the whole set, 5 for Cam, you know, featuring 5 for Jim, featuring 5 for Jewel's featuring.
That's tough.
I don't think that the Lox got it for them. I mean, I love the Lox.
I mean, you could throw out a couple of records. Let me hear a couple of records. I really mean it.
You know, I really mean it.
Hey,
you
Ma.
know, hey Ma, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
boy.
Oh, boy.
Like
Bout It,
Dipset
Bout It 3.
anthem.
Bout it.
3.
Down and out.
Yeah.
Ballin'.
Come on. And
Welcome to New York. We didn't even talk about Welcome,
welcome
to New York.
to New York.
One for Petey.
Rashada's. I mean, Joel's got joints. Jimmy got joints to this day.
Clap and Revolve It. Not Clap and Revolve It.
That's
That
Joe
was
right there.
Fat Joe.
Yeah.
What was the other one that
Reppin' Time.
Reppin'
Come
Time.
on,
That's what I'm
man.
thinking
Like
of.
Jimmy got
But
joints.
from the locks though, bro, anything.
She got joints.
Big ass. Anything.
What was the
with
other joint
big,
that Max B did? We think in the air and
Pin the tail right there, man. That's my era, Dean. I'm not even gonna
Bro,
lie to you, man.
I'm
Like,
talking, we talking
I was being bad
Summer
in
in
Miami.
Miami.
we talking Benjamins.
I was getting
We
suspended
talk,
off
we
them
talking, we
Dipset
talking money, power, respect. We talking 24 hours to live. We talking banned from TV. We talking like the best back and forth rap duo probably of all time, bro.
That's gonna save him.
There's never been a two
I
MCs
think
to
that
go back
this
to
is
back
gonna be
better.
what we thought Kiss versus Loso was gonna be.
Absolutely.
Unless the drinking ensues.
Nah, but remember the DJ fumbled Loso's pack, bro. Like, the DJ failed Loso and they was arguing. Basically, Fab was arguing
Loso
with
got
his DJ.
bodied that night, man.
that's two
That
brothers
shit
going at it.
That was
disappointed
his
me.
They
DJ fault
brothers.
though. DJ played the wrong songs.
I was rooting for Loso too.
I'm
I
going
took
with-
that
you know
L that
what?
night.
Everybody picking the locks, but Mace kind of made the point. But I'm going with the Dipset, bro. Because the thing is,
I think Dipset has harder hitting records of like the last
people.
people.
You right. The people.
If you think I'm jinky though.
Statistically, we already know what the locks is coming with. Bad Boy era locks.
Oh yeah.
Shiny Suit era, Rough Rider era,
The Rough Rider era.
D Block era,
D Block
mixtape era.
with fam.
Come on, bro, it's hard.
Cam still has
And I
force of
love
carriage,
Dipset.
bro.
Cam,
He
like,
do. He got
pull it.
357.
357.
come on,
This is Cam we talking about.
killer.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
what's up the shit with
What
Pun?
was-
The shit
what-
with Pun and
what was the joint that he? Oh, I'm about to pull up Purple Haze right now.
Shit
He got
Pun and
Suck in the
Nori.
Knot with Wayne.
Suck it or not.
He got Just Fire he could
Just
throw out
Fire.
there. Killer Cam is the top 10 rapper of all time. I don't want to hear any type of
Kim-
doubt
I'm going to
about
Purple
Cam
it.
Haze
got
right now.
joints, man.
Come
You
on.
have
Get,
Dipset
get
and
them girls, Killer
Yeah.
Cam.
More gangster music, the remix.
That certified gangsters.
Certified Gangsters.
Come on now.
Would you mention it before? Get 'em girls,
Get 'em
take
my
'em to
shit.
church, family ties,
Take 'em
Get
to
them
church.
Daddy the remix.
Come
They got some
on.
joints, bro.
down and out.
Yeah.
Let's
Killer
just say the
Cam.
Locks is lucky
Wanted
that
with
it's only
Jada.
20, okay?
Wanted.
Because we're naming
Santana
about
Town.
25
Yeah.
Dipset joints right now.
Yeah.
I got a whole collection.
of my whole collection. I got
Come
a whole
on.
selection of my whole collection.
People forget
Some
Dipset.
joints.
People
Yeah.
forget Dipset had
more,
joints.
more music with Santana off the Diplomatic Community. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the way I look
This
at it,
is
you know.
powerful music that I
just
bring to
look-
the
What he
table.
said? Ain't no clear could see my future. If she did, I shoot her. Come
Oh,
on,
yeah,
son.
some joints. There's some joints.
I think we scared to pick against Jada because we did pick against him in the Fab
Cam dropped
verses.
classics like 2 years ago. El Capo was a classic.
Right. Come on now.
I'd say it's a
Jimmy is
classic.
still
El
dropping joints
Capo
up
was
on
in the
his
classics?
day.
It's a good album.
Ah, it's a good.
I wouldn't call it a classic. Yeah, he right.
I dragged it.
You tried it, bro. He was gonna let that rock out too.
I tried
to speak it in. It was supporting my Dipset argument, so I was gonna let it rock
Jim
there.
got some Ballin' still a main hit. They got some joints. I
They
ain't
got
gonna lie.
balling. We didn't even mention balling,
But
man.
bro, they got I Get High.
Yo,
That's a major
Holiday
record.
is
What's
gonna
the shit
ring
with
off.
Akon?
what is she gonna do?
What is she? That's my problem, Dean. What is she gonna
Locked
do?
Up with Akon. I mean, come on, bro. Styles P's been a part of some hard records,
Dean
man.
need the A&R that verses for the Locks. 'cause,
Right out.
You know,
Damn. Then the features.
Wild Out.
Come
Yeah.
on, Bree. Everything with
could play the
Biggie.
whole
Ride or Die
Blackout.
chick with Eve.
Blackout, bro.
I need a ride or die chick.
Come
You
on.
can play that
Recognize.
too. Damn.
Recognize with the Primo beat. It's not gonna be easy, bro. I'm telling
Come
you.
on now.
That might be the
Come
best
on.
verses to date.
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh man.
We biased,
And we seen
but-
some goodies. That Primo
Listen,
RZA
matter of
was
fact,
good.
Mace, don't even say that. We let Atlanta get away with so much bullshit. So I'm not even saying that it's biased. We as New Yorkers, we're gonna be hype about this shit because we let y'all
Right.
get away with shit for almost 2 decades.
That Gucci
Fuck outta
Jeezy.
here.
Yeah,
Come
we
on
let
now.
y'all have that Gucci and Jeezy.
We
That
let
was
Gucci
major.
and Jeezy rock.
Dipset
We let
versus
Bow
Locks
Wow and Soulja
is
Boy
a
rock.
big ass
rock.
deal.
With that terrible Harlem shake.
the fuck out of here.
Nasty work.
He didn't even
on
know what
now.
he was doing halfway through that shit.
Nasty work, Bow Wow. We'll never forget that.
Soulja did it first though. Still.
Jesus.
I'm weak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the rap snob is not here, right? But it's only right that I kick some people over this sacred place.
Oh, man.
Because it's not an episode of the Rap Roundtable if these jabronis who are shimmying on my tulips, my roses, you know what I mean?
My good grass.
My good grass that I got set up. It's only right that all of you please.
Shout out to Sid.
In memory of Sincere the Rap Snob who's on vacation right now, we gotta still get you off this lawn. My issue is social media groupthink. All of you people who want to have the same opinion, it's not a crime to have a deviating opinion from the group, okay? Like, we talked about Illmatic on the last episode, and the fact that a person like myself and Dini could enjoy Illmatic more than it was written.
It was written more than Illmatic.
Right.
Yeah.
My bad, I'm a little drunk.
Me too.
That doesn't mean that we don't like It Was Written.
Facts.
We're not even knocking down It Was Written. It's just a matter of preference. I feel like what's gotten lost in social media is the fact of nuance and preference. It's just, if you don't like, if you like this, then you can't possibly like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading the comments and I'm seeing that people are up in arms about liking It Was Written. And it's like, bro, we never said anything about Illmatic. We never bashed it. We never said it was trash.
Ever.
We just mentioned a preference. Mm-hmm. And I feel like preference gets lost because everyone wants you to choose a side. And I feel like groupthink on social media has gotten away from having real conversations because the people who want to get on this groupthink vibe, if you met them in person, they'll have that conversation with you and they'll even agree with you. Mm-hmm. But on social media, they'll get on that keyboard and they'll type some other bullshit that they will never stand on in person.
Mm-hmm. I got
and
other people who feel this way.
That's a fact. And it's like, I've gotten frustrated because I feel like it's a lot of cowards on social media who just want to get down with the popular opinion and they don't want to have anything that's related to real conversation. So if they can get a bunch of people to like their comment, they'll feel strong about the shit they're saying.
And
but the minute I pull
heavier.
up on them niggas, oh no. Well,
like
actually,
that.
I like It Was Written more, but I just thought that Illmatic was the more better album. Bullshit, nigga. Keep that same energy.
Same energy.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's about groupthink on social media. We see it on Twitter every day. People don't believe what they want to believe, but to be down with the whole, they'll agree with some other shit just to be down with the group. And I hate that shit. And quite frankly, all of you who subscribe to groupthink, all of you who don't have opinions of your own, all of you who just want to be down for the get down, all of you can please get the fuck out of here.
Sweeping y'all off, raking y'all.
Dini, take us home, bro.
Yo, on behalf of the Rap Roundtable, I'd like to shout out my man Jav.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to shout out my man Mace for pulling up to the table. Happy to have you, brother. Hopefully see you a lot more. I'm Dini, the balance of the force. I'm slightly inebriated, a little bit of the Migo. Shout out to Jav. Shout out to the engineer in the booth right now working with us. Shout out to the homie. Say your name, bro. Jay.
Jay in the house.
We out in BK. We out here.
Yes, sir. We out here, man.